Let's turn back to the final day of the Democratic National Convention. The father of a Muslim American soldier who was killed in Iraq, he slammed Republican nominee Donald Trump and his recent comments on Muslims.
Donald Trump, you're asking Americans to trust you with their future. Let me ask you, have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy. In this document, look for the words liberty and equal protection of law.
I want to bring in Saba Ahmed, president of the Republican Muslim Coalition, and Sajid Tarar, president of American Muslims for Trump. Good to see you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to get your take right off the bat. What did you think of last night and what you just heard?
I thought it was fabulous. Donald Trump caused all the Democrats to bring out their Muslim supporters. For the past several years, we've had lots of comments against Islam and Muslims, but we've never seen Democrats talk about it. They've always silenced Muslims. And so it was nice to see Muslims on stage. But at the same time, I thought it was all thanks to Donald Trump. Had he not talked about the Muslim ban, there would be no Muslims on stage.
All right, so you just like the fact that the conversation is there and it's taking place.
Yes, of course. I think the Muslim American community is coming to the forefront, and I'm glad. Obviously, there are thousands of Muslim American soldiers and serving our nation proudly.
Yeah.
And we hope that, obviously, any president would acknowledge that and value all of us.
Sajid, what about you?
I salute Captain Khan's supreme sacrifice, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I have questions. What they have done for Muslims in the past 8 years, and the copy of the Constitution they wanted to give to Donald Trump. I think Barack Obama need to see the Guantanamo Bay is still open. And no solid policy. Yesterday, to me, it was all just same hope and change, just a political, 40 years of political experience, and she has shown it up on the stage. But from the Islamic point of view, not identifying radical Islam as a threat, no solid policy for Middle East. Middle East is burning. Radical Islam is threat all over France. And they have, this is a disrespect even to the people of Orlando and California, not identifying radical Islam. It was a good thing. The Captain Khan's parents came up there and expressed, and I'm very humbled that the Muslims they came on a stage, but not identifying radical Islam is not a solution. It's not going to work. Same false hope. And it was all celebration. It seems like Alice in Wonderland, like a Disney show.
This is a really important point that you're making, because we really don't hear from the Muslim community enough in terms of denouncing the atrocities.
Well, of course we denounce them.
Yes, of course you do. I know. I'm just saying it's important for your voice to be heard.
Definitely. And I hope Democrats will also bring those voices out. I think, we've seen Obama's failed foreign policies in the last several years. And yesterday we saw establishment politicians just continue that. I don't see Hillary Clinton changing anything. They've been in office for the last 8 years, and they've caused the ISIS mess and, hurt many American lives all around the world. And I think going forward, it's important to see strong leadership coming from Republicans. National security and defense is a top priority for us, and we have to have a president who understands the threats and who knows how to deal with them, working with Muslim Americans in partnership.
And who do you think that is? Do you think Donald Trump understands?
I think so. Yeah. I will look forward to seeing Donald Trump in office. I think he comes across as a strong leader. We have seen failed, weak leadership coming from Obama. He talked all about hope and change, and we have yet to see anything changed in Washington, and there is no hope.
Yeah.
And so I really look forward to Republicans taking the White House and providing a better vision for America and getting our world leadership status back.
Yeah.
I mean, Americans used to be known for enforcing their red lines. Obama talked about Syrian red lines, and he never enforced them. 400,000 people died in Syria in the last few years, and he did nothing.
And that really, that certainly alienated a lot of our friends in the Muslim world, actually. Here's Julie Radinsky. Go ahead.
Said, I'm trying to figure out how you can reconcile Donald Trump's initial first ban on many Muslims coming here. Now he's expanding it to territories that have faced terrorism, which to me is... but let me just finish, which to me includes Europe. It includes parts of the Middle East, obviously. It includes Israel. It includes even this own country where we've had terrorism here. How do you reconcile that, and obviously both of you are Muslim, with support for Donald Trump?
Sure. Well, I think a blatant religious discrimination ban is unconstitutional and illegal. But at the same time, vetting every single person who's coming to the United States is very important. Obviously, we shouldn't make the criteria being the religion. We should be very serious about not allowing anybody from state sponsors of terrorism. We don't want to see more terrorists in the United States. And I do agree with Donald Trump on having a strict immigration policy, which checks every single person that comes into the country. And territory-wise, yes, I think there's already countries that don't allow it, and expanding that is perfectly all right.
And Jerry, you want to add to this? I mean, Sajid and Saba are making important points, and particularly as we see ISIS infiltrating the refugee flow in Europe.
I mean, just to echo Julie's point. I mean, you know, there are a lot of countries that could be captured by this new formulation of the ban on Muslims. Europe, Africa, Middle East, pretty well all over the world. You know, Asia, Southeast Asian countries. It does essentially amount, doesn't it, to a ban on Muslims entering the country, which, as you've just said, is probably unconstitutional. So is it the case that the only saving grace in Mr. Trump's policy is that it's actually unconstitutional, and the Supreme Court would rule it out at the first opportunity?
Right, exactly. So we want to make sure he enacts policies that won't be unconstitutional. And we hope that he obviously has a stricter immigration policy about anyone coming from terrorist countries. We don't want to see more terrorism, and we want to make sure that our country is safe, and America is the great country that it's always been.
All right, we will leave it there. Saba, Ahmed, Sajid, Tarar, we appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much.